Welcome to Flock Talk, the ultimate jam band community podcast, where the grooves are endless and the vibes are infectious. This month, Rachel Wesley and Chloe Hannon join Kara and Niki for a conversation about all things festival season. Stay tuned for some tips and tricks as we gear up for a summer of music.
So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Chloe and Rachael. Go ahead and talk about who you are, how many festivals, shows, concerts you've been to, what scenes you come from, and a couple fun facts.
Hey everyone, I'm Rachel Wesley. I am from Denver, Colorado. A couple things about me. So if we're talking about shows, festivals, all that, I have no idea. I've been seeing music voraciously since I'm 20 years old, so over 20 years. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm hovering around 1,000, but I really have no idea. Let me see. What about me? Well, I am a writer and a reading teacher, so I'm an absolute book nerd. So if you ever want to talk on top of music, any book recommendations, come my way. I actually, my debut book, it's called Second Set Chances. It is coming out next April 8th, 2025 to be exact. It is a fish-filled second coming-of-age memoir. So I am so stoked for that. So yeah, if you're a book nerd and a music fan, I think you'll like it, I hope. Couple fun facts about me. My first concert ever was Paula Abdul. Color Me Bad opened up for them. I saw them at the Allentown Fairgrounds. My mom let me wear makeup for Paula, so I remember I put on some blue eyeshadow because it was the early 90s. Since we're talking festivals, I skipped my college graduation so I could attend Coventry. No regrets with that, but I actually haven't been back to a fish festival since. So Mondegreen is going to be like a much needed rebirth of that.
And what year was Coventry? How long ago was
that? Was 2004. Okay. Yeah, my parents actually bought me my ticket for my college graduation present. So they've always really encouraged my love of music. And then I guess one final fact, again, to keep it in with the festival theme, I grew up right outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania. So Peach Fest is one of my favorite festivals. And one of the best parts about it is raging a festival all day and then going to my parents' house and sleeping in my childhood bedroom. So yeah, I'm really stoked to be on. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, amazing. Are you doing Peach at the Beach this year?
I am not, because I am going to be right in the middle of book production and development. And since I've never done this before and I'm on my publisher's deadline, I'm trying to keep focused on that as much as possible. Although I am bummed to be missing the Day Fest, but even more bummed that Peach is not what Peach used to be this year. Fingers crossed it comes back next year.
I've heard that from a lot of fans of that festival, and yeah, it's very different. How about you, Chloe?
I'm Chloe. I'm from Iowa. I'm a recruiter up here for an aerospace company, which is interesting to me. I'm kind of all over the board in terms of music I like. I'd like almost everything. I'm not super familiar with jam or kind of the realm you guys are in, so I'm so excited to talk to you and hear more about that. But I do go to Bonnaroo every year, as well as Riot Fest, which is up in Chicago. That's a little bit more punk rock, the occasional hip hop thrown in, and it's such a blast. I think this year will be my 9th Bonnaroo and I think my 7th Riot Fest. So I'm in it to win it with those, and I cannot recommend both of them enough. I've probably been going to shows since high school. And fun fact, your Paula Abdul first concert, incredible. My first concert was Backstreet Boys, and I don't think I've ever hit that high. That's what I'm chasing the rest of my life. It was so much fun. It was such a good time. And let's see, a fun fact about me. I don't know. I have 2 cats that everyone is very familiar with. Follow me on Instagram. I've got Hash Brown and Tater Tot, and they're my goofy little babies. And another fun fact, I played rugby. That's interesting. Not a lot of people have done that. Love talking about it. But yeah, I'm just so excited to talk to you guys today, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're really excited. I think one other fact that kind of connects the three of us, right, is that Rachel went to the first Bonnaroo. And you and I, Chloe, met from Bonnaroo, and we're like the new generation of Bonnaroovians, and Rachel, her generation started Bonnaroo and like what it is today. So I think that's what's really really kind of amazing. It's like it started as a jam fest, and like to evolve into what it is today is like because those roots. I think that's a super cool thing to talk about. And, Niki, our other co-host, she was also at the first Bonnaroo. So it's like the generations are coming together. It's pretty great. Okay, yeah. So I think a good place to start for us is to chat about, kind of the beginnings of like what to think about for a festival, right? There's always like the camping aspect, how to like preparing just to get to the festival is always, a lot of effort and a lot of organization. And for different festivals that you do, like, do you go with a group and, how do you prepare your groups? What kind of communications, what kind of planning, and, how do you plan finances? I think that's a huge one too, is budgeting. So I'll go ahead and start with you, Chloe. I know that you do like the festival group, right? Like the large Bonnaroo groups, and like that is intense and a lot of work, I'm sure. So I definitely want to hear about that. And then kind of like what has worked for you, and what tips do you have on that?
Yeah. So this will actually be my second year doing group at Bonnaroo. Last year was my first. I did it with the Roo bus, and it was crazy. We had kind of like an open sign up, and like we had like a solid amount of people, and we're like, woo, this is perfect for our first year. And then it was like, oh, everyone at Bonnaroo is in our group. Okay, got it. So that made for kind of like a chaotic organization, but it totally worked out. It's kind of one of those things where when you start planning, it's hard to keep an eye on all the details, and you're just like pushing through and doing your best. And then when you get on site, everything kind of falls together. Like, I'm sure there were things that went wrong. If I were pressed to remember exactly what they were, I don't know if I could do it. So I think going with a group is awesome. Like, it means, yeah, more organization on the front end. But it also gives you people to rely on. Like, you don't have to bring everything for yourself. Someone can bring, this, and you can bring that. And it's just so much more of like a community feel, and you really never feel like you're alone. So that's really what I loved about it. Like, there's always someone to go see a show with, or like maybe you're kind of tired, so there's always someone to go back to camp early. Like, it was just such a great sense of community, and I can't imagine not doing it anymore. But that being said, I think my first 7 or 8 years, I went with like 2 or 4 people max. Like, it was a much smaller group. We all drove in together, and that in its own way is a lot easier. But you're also responsible for everything for yourself, and like you have to be master Tetris level to like get all of that stuff and the people in the car to go. So definitely highs and lows of both, but now that I've done group, it's like, oh, it's such a cool community over there. I can't say enough great things.
What is the group?
It's so cool. They've got kind of like a program where if you are able to get, I think it's groups of 24 or more.
Yeah, I think it's 24.
Yeah. Together, and like you sign up and you buy like group passes. Bonnaroo will set aside like plots of the campground in an area for you, so you guys don't all have to drive in together to try and be camped next to each other. So if you can put that kind of a size of a group together, it makes like just arrival so much better. So I will say 1 year I did go with a group of like maybe 10 or a dozen, and that was once, and we had 4 or 5 cars. And I don't know if I've ever felt as much anxiety going into the campgrounds, because I'm like, no, you're in front of me, you're behind me. We all gotta stay together and like try and be super nice to like the people parking your car, like, please put us together. And they're super accommodating. But if you can avoid that stress or worry, I think it's really awesome to do the group.
Yeah. And I don't think the fish festivals or Mondegreen in this case, I don't think they have that, but that's definitely a great tip for You know, I would say any festival that has camping is like, you really have to go in together. If you're not doing like, if they offer a group option, definitely do that if you can, if you have that many people. But at least for Mondegreen, like you have to go in together if you want to camp together. Otherwise, you're not going to camp with your people. So that's definitely a great tip.
Yeah, get that meeting spot, right? Like even though the gorge isn't a festival, you're camping there, right? And we always end up going with a very large group of people. And we have our meeting spot at the one gas station right before you go into the grounds. But you're so right how stressful it is trying to keep your caravan together. So having that group option is genius. I know they do something like that for Billy Strings does his renewal fest in Buena Vista, south of us here, and they have a couple larger group spots because that's also another festival where you need to drive in with your group together. Otherwise, you're not camping. I think are most fests like that?
Most are. If there's camping fest, like if it's a camping accommodation, usually you have to go in with your group. Like unless it's big like Bonnaroo where they do the group camping,
Yeah.
which in the past Firefly, which is where the Mondegreen festival's being held, they have done group camping in the past. So like, but I don't know if that's happening with Mondegreen, which is, you know, difficult and challenging, I imagine, if you have a big group.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about how we're all getting in at Mondegreen this year. And thankfully my cousin lives in Philly, so I think we'll be leaving from her place. But again, like staying together for what is it, like an hour drive, getting there.
Rachel, that's a good question. Are you
Yeah.
driving to Mondegreen from Colorado, or are you flying and then driving? What was your plan there, and how are
Oh my
you
gosh,
doing that?
it's been all over the place. We've tossed around so many different ideas. Like leading up to the on sale, we didn't know, we have a larger group, and we're also in our early 40s, right? So we're looking for as much comfort as possible. So we're like, do we all get like camper vans? Do we get the hotel packages? Should we? What was our other option? We were going to do another option, but we ended up cussying up and we're going with the glamping with the yurts, just because so many of us are. I'm excited to see what it's like, but we'll have beds and air conditioning. And again, I can't stress this enough. I'm in my early 40s, like 5 days at a festival. I'm going to need as much comfort as possible.
With the glamping, you probably don't need a rental car. Well, I mean, maybe you need a rental car to get in, but you don't need like to bring all your camping gear, so you don't have to travel with all of that.
Yeah. So most of us are coming from out of town. We have a couple people who are local, but it's who wants to fly with all of your camping gear? Like, how do you do it? Like,
I don't want to, but I do it.
Yeah, you want to be as comfortable as possible, and to travel with all that, you're probably paying out the ass for the pounds you're bringing, right?
This is a good tip where I'm going to go into this. I have like the perfect suitcase, and I have it's always pre-packed with all of my Bonnaroo gear and all of my like festival gear, and it's under 50 pounds. And then I pack a cooler, and my cooler is my second piece of luggage. And then I fly Southwest wherever I'm going, and you get 2 free bags up to 50 pounds. So fly Southwest, use your cooler as your second bag, and use a suitcase. That is it.
That is so smart.
That is very smart. I can barely get 50 pounds though when I'm just going with myself, let alone camping gear. So bonus to you.
Yeah, right? You need clothes for 3 different seasons, I imagine, right?
Yeah. Luckily, I wear like, and we're going to get into fashion, which we can kind of go there for like clothing at this point. But I wear kind of like, I have like a few cute outfits that I wear that I dress up in, but usually it's just like shorts and a t-shirt. And I have found over the years that I wear just kind of the same thing because I'm already disgusting. So I just kind of wear like the same t-shirt and shorts, and then, just change my clothing, and that's usually just fine. So, and then if I'm like going to a certain show where I want to dress up like Goose or special DJ set or something, I'll dress up for that. But like that's about it. I prefer to be comfortable, so that just goes right into the cooler and goes right to the bottom, and then I just put stuff on top of it and then tape that up, and it's good to go. So, shoes are the big thing. Is I usually bring like 4 or 5 pairs of shoes, and usually I put those like in my backpack, and it's a carry-on because they're the heaviest stuff. So
very true.
Genius ideas. I love them. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Speaking of shoes, actually the best shoes that you can do are Crocs because they weigh nothing They can be rinsed off if they get disgusting. And you can strap them to any backpack. It's kind of super handy. I bought my first pair at the second Bonnaroo. That was the first place I saw them in 03, oh, 03. And they had this big, huge tent set up with every color you could imagine. And they were like $30. So that tells you how old I am. But they were absolutely priceless because it was just mud. There was nothing but mud that year. And I just kept rinsing them off, and I didn't ruin my Tevas or my sneakers. It was perfect. And I will never go to another festival without Crocs. Love
I
it.
just got my first pair of Crocs yesterday.
Woohoo! I'll bring them with.
They'll be coming with me everywhere.
I am a diehard Tevas fan. I wear Tevas, like I buy a new pair every year. But because I run them into the ground, and definitely at festivals, they're definitely my go-to. Them and like Reebok sneakers, because I just buy the same pair. I know exactly which ones fit me. I get them gross, throw them out at the end of the festival, and then buy a new pair. It's like perfect. Chloe, what recommendations do you have for clothing and footwear?
I am like you guys, like the more simple the better. Like I'm either in like a dress or like a skirt and a bra top. Like anything I can do to like get ventilation, especially like in Tennessee in June. It's so hot. I like to think every year that I'm gonna like pack like super cute, thoughtful outfits, and it's like, Chloe, this is your ninth one. Like, listen up. That's not your reality, okay? So anyone that does that, they're like better and stronger than I am, and I will hold their purse, or I'll take their photos. Like, let me help you. But it's just totally not me, because you're right. Like I just know what I'm gonna wear, and it's gonna be simple. For shoes, I'm like a Vans girly, like from day one, either that or Tevas, same, because you can just beat the crap out of them and then like toss them in the washer and they're fine. But I'm kind of on a steady rotation of like checkered Vans where like they're nice and clean, and then the first time they get dirty, I'm like Bonnaroo Riot Fest shoes, and then they see the inside of too many porta potties and they can't be anything but festival shoes. So we're on that cute cycle right now. But I just know those, it's kind of like if you just find a shoe that you know works for you, like just don't think too hard about it. Keep those because you just know they'll work. Like the last thing you want to worry about is like your feet hurting or getting blisters. Like there are no winners there for sure. I do see people in like those platform boots, and again, like why are you not running our country? Like if you can manage a festival in those shoes, like I'm handing it all over to you.
God.
Like incredible, you know?
That's a very good point.
Right?
I have found like boots, so like more like the combat style boots, but they still have a little bit of platform. Those actually are not bad for a festival. But the rule for me is like any shoe, but especially if you get those, like if you just buy the pair on Amazon that are like $50 or whatever, break them in. Make sure you're wearing them around your house. Make sure you're wearing them and breaking them in as much as possible before the festival. Like you want to give yourself a good solid 2 months. Make sure they get a little wet, like so they get the feel for like what a festival is going to be. Any shoe, but definitely those boots, if you are going to wear them, break them in because you don't want to have blisters, and get your blisters early before the festival.
Question for you, Kara.
Yeah.
Are you putting those boots in a backpack, or are you wearing those boots on the plane?
Great. I wear them on the plane usually.
Yep.
Yeah, they're actually they're easier than taking like sneakers off because they zip off. I wear them on the plane because it's much easier. Yeah.
If you are ever, any of you are ever looking for some, because my aesthetic is also cute comfort, 100%. And I would love to plug some of my favorite creators in the jam scene. Like there's some women making incredible, comfortable fashion, and I would love to just I want to evangelize about how great their products are. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mama's Handmade's Minis. She's really big in the fish and Billy String scene, but she makes these super comfy cotton stretchy mini skirts that are flattering on all bodies, that come in all these incredible patterns. I own 3 pairs now. I am obsessed with them. Another person who makes just super comfortable Fabulous show clothes is Circus of Light. Their skater dresses are just so cool, again, flattering. And I know they're starting to make goose patterns, but a lot of their patterns come from CK5's light show. So those are just,
I love that.
they just make incredible stuff. Super comfy.
I love their stuff.
We'll put this in the show notes on the podcast. Are they both on Etsy? Or are they like through any like Facebook groups or?
I think Circus of Light, they have their own website, but Mama's Minis is on Etsy, and she just reopened her shop earlier this week. So yeah, check them out. It's just amazing stuff.
We'll definitely link and give them credit because that sounds amazing. And I might be in the market. So.
Yeah. I can't go anywhere without getting compliments anytime I wear any of their creations.
Love it. All right. So we can't have a Flock Talk conversation about shows without talking about glitter and makeup. What are we doing for glitter and makeup for Bonnaroo and festivals? I know, Chloe, you're pretty easy. I feel like we ran into each other last year, and I feel like you had some makeup on, maybe, possibly. So I want to hear what your thoughts are there.
I love makeup. I think it's so fun. Like, I don't wear makeup every day, but at Bonnaroo, like, you bet your sweet buns I'm getting ready. Nothing like super extravagant for me, not like in terms of like anything difficult skill wise, but like the getting ready is almost as good as like actually going. So that was another really cool thing about being in a group, is like there was always someone to get ready with. So that means you can like pool resources and like, oh, you have this glitter, great. I love that. So I do it all, not like a full face foundation wise. Obviously sunscreen is super important. You're not stronger than the sun. I layer sunscreen. Not only do I like put like actual sunscreen on, but most of the steps in my process has additional SPF. That's just a good tip that's kept me happy and looking so youthful these days. But I love using like glitter. I've had really great luck with glitter from ColourPop. That stuff is super accessible and I think relatively inexpensive. Relatively inexpensive. And then I've had really great luck with stuff from Face Sprinkles, I think is the brand. They have like a huge like 30 pan glitter palette that's like the rainbow of glitter. Like every color you can imagine is in there. And it's awesome. Like I think I've had it for like 3 or 4 years. It's like a glitter paste. It's like you don't have to mix it with anything and it stays on really well.
What color?
So I love that. Oh man, I mean, like, what am I wearing? Like any color for real. There's even like a brown glitter that I'm like, I don't know about that, and it's so pretty. It's like very cottagecore, like very fairy vibes.
Cottagecore, I love it.
Yeah, right. It's like way cuter than I thought it would be. And I have a friend who has a much deeper skin tone than me, and it looked so like bronzy, goddessy on her, and oh, I just loved it. And then like I'm a big believer in like setting spray. Like if you're taking time to put glitter or eyeliner on, anything from Urban Decay is amazing. I'm trying out the new e.l.f. has like a grippy setting spray that's supposed to have like some skincare. So trying that out and might take it to Bonnaroo this year.
I gotta try some of that.
Yeah, give it a shot. It's supposed to be a dupe for like the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray, but that's like $8 floppity jillion a bottle, and like I'm fiscally reckless, but I don't know if I'm there yet. So yeah, I'm excited to try this one out a little bit more and see if I like it. It feels really good when you put it on. It's like, oh, so luxe and great.
What about you, Rachel? What's your go-to for festivals and concerts?
So I don't wear a whole bunch of makeup, but big on the SPF. And also just, I'm going to keep plugging away on my women, but Sex Plants Rock and Roll. She is a Colorado creator. She makes biodegradable glitter in a plethora of colors, also fabulous. And I will say last September at Renewal Fest, it was so windy and dusty that my lips were ready to fall off. And her Fluff Head lip balm saved my mouth.
Wow.
She makes super luxurious products, all natural. She's got her own little workshop. It's fun to see behind the scenes all of her creations. She makes like she grows a lot of the materials she uses in her products. So yeah, Sex Plants Rock and Roll. Great
That's
stuff.
awesome. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
that up for
yeah.
sure. I'm a lip balm. geeky.
Lip balm is such a great call out too. Like dusty lips or like sunburned lips. Oh my God, just the
worst.
pits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get it with SPF.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
One of my friends in my Bonnaroo group actually gave me a recommendation to actually mix your glitter in with your sunscreen, and it'll actually
Ooh.
stay on better.
I do that on my tattoos.
And I didn't know that was a thing, and that I'm gonna try that this summer. I think I haven't done it. I didn't do it last year. I didn't really do glitter too much last year. It was like,
I glitterized you, don't lie.
no, oh yeah, the goose shows, at goose shows, but like at Bonnaroo, I didn't do anything at Bonnaroo. Like I just like loaded up on the sunscreen because the sun was so intense.
Too hot. It's too hot to want to do anything, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Load up on ice packs. Tape them around your body.
Yes.
Good call.
Look like the Michelin man walking around. Yeah.
Mhm. You'll feel good though. Although it's better to look good than to feel good sometimes.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Not at a friggin' festival after 3 days of being covered in dust
Yeah.
and porta potty scum and
Oh my! I
Yeah.
just the first Bonnaroo, right? My nails there was just dirt under them at all times, and I would clean them out, and like 10 minutes later, I'd look at my nails again, and they just have dirt all under them, and it took me days to realize it was because I was covered in dust and dirt, and every time I scratched at my skin, I was just taking on all that dirt.
it's gross. There's a festival in Chicago. It was the Dave Matthews Band Caravan like years ago, and it was on a factory that was torn down. And it was literally just they put mulch on everything, and then you walked through. There's like rebar and concrete slabs sticking out of the ground, and I wore a white, cute little like embroidered tank top thing. It was not white by the end of the night. It was literally black, and I was like, "Oh Lord!"
Is that one of those super fun sites now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so bad. It was so bad. That was a great festival. The lineup was fantastic. It was over 2 days. It was in like South Side Chicago, so you could just take the train right there. But oh Lordy, it was dirty and disgusting. And of course, you're on the lake, so it's just windy all the time. And oof, that was when I learned like don't wear white ever to a festival. Ever, ever. I don't care what you're doing, white nothing. You stick with dark colors.
Not even socks. Like make sure you're wearing colored socks.
Oh, so funky. So funky.
I think a good transition that we can move to is talking camping setup. I know we talked a little bit about like getting your group together and like kind of planning all of that, but I think camping setup is pretty important. I have never been to a fish festival, so I have no idea what the camping is like there. I imagine it's like, you know, your standard pop-up and you have a couple of tents, you get your 10 by, 20 by 20, 10 by 10. I guess is it 10 by 10? I don't know. You get your regular space with your car and your tent and your pop-up. But like, what's it like camping at a fish festival? And, what's the lot scene like? Is it different than Bonnaroo? Like, I'm so curious to hear about that.
I mean, for me, I don't know about you, Niki. I was saying I've not, Coventry was my last festival. Just I'm a teacher, right? And all the balls have been back to school season, so I haven't been able to do any. So I haven't been to
Cyprus was mine. So, but it's literally you're in a field. The whole place is a lot scene. There's usually a couple shakedowns where it's like a bigger road area where people congregate and are selling shit. So you kind of like just wander around, but it is basically a free for all. They're going to say you get this much room, but you'll get room where your friends and you are. Usually there's, you get your car with the festivals that I've gone to Camp Green Sky and Hoxeyville and Wheatland and things in Michigan here where we've had them. And usually you just go in with your friends. You all meet up ahead of time in line so that you can all congregate together. That way you can kind of plan your space and leave some room with your cars, like where you can have a central area where everybody puts their pop-ups. We usually put like 3 to 4 pop-ups together, throw some rugs down, put some tarps up around so you have shade, and that kind of gives you room on the outside for your tents.
You could never have enough pop-ups, right? Like it's never enough.
It's essential.
Oh, yeah, because Bonnaroo is so hot, and traditionally we would do that. We would do 2 or 3 pop-ups. That's usually how many camping spots we bought. And then we actually wouldn't even put tents up, or if we did, one person would have a tent and then the rest of us would just like sleep under the canopies, just because it's so hot. You just put your cot under the canopy and then you have a tent, for changing or whatever. But like, it's just so hot that you don't want, you don't want to roast.
It was like we laid on the ground. It was so hot for Big Cypress one night. It was like ridiculous. You couldn't sleep in your tent. It was so hot.
So
it was not.
Going back to Bonnaroo 1 again, that's my first music festival, 20 years old. My friends and I, this was all our first music festival. We hit the road from Pennsylvania with a tent, a couple sleeping bags, a case of Bud, and that was it.
I like it.
Thank God for neighbors. Otherwise,
I
would have died.
People will save you. They will save your life. It's amazing how much people are like, what are you guys doing? Are you just drinking? You have no water? You gotta have water. Go get some water. Poor kids don't realize it. But yeah,
it's really fun to see how our camping setup has evolved over the past 20 years, where, with the million pop-ups, it's almost as if each pop-up becomes its own section. Like you have the kitchen, right? And then the living room, you have like the little yoga studio where people have yoga mats and foam rollers and all that. And I
was just going to say, explain the evolution for us, because that visual is awesome.
Well, it's just really crazy. Every festival or like camping music event is a learning experience, right? And you see what other people are doing, so you take it away and you start putting it into your own setup. And it's just always great when you add more people to your crew and then you get their expertise. It's a beautiful evolution, isn't it?
It is. I have friends who go all the time camping, and they are friggin' stellar badass bitches, and they bring everything. Like, I really didn't have to bring much. One of my groups of friends, they had an RV and they just had everything that you would possibly need, including cooking, sitting, if you needed any water, they had the potable water bottle, anything like that. Then my other ones are camping, so they were like, we got this. Just bring yourself, bring some food, bring a cooler. And I lucked out and I learned from them, and that was like, it was eye-opening. So I think that's a very good tip, is learn from other people. Take notes, because you will be going back sometime and you're going to be like, oh, remember when this person had a hammock here, or when they had this thing, or when they had that thing. Like, you make friends and you go to the different campsites and you see how everybody's setup is. That's the fun part of actually camping, is to see what everybody's got going. So that's very good advice.
So that's a good follow-up question. Cooking at camp, yes or no?
Absolutely.
100%.
Chloe, I'm curious here.
Oh no, I'm like so far on the other end of the spectrum. I've tried it twice and it just was like a thing I didn't do. Like, I feel like I wasted space and food and I felt terrible. I'm like way more of like a snacker. So I have like lots of like quick, easy, snacky things like cheese sticks or like crackers, like that kind of stuff is way more something that I'll eat. I do have friends that are in like the RV section, and like there are like 2 or 3 of them that are next to each other like every year, and like one of them has a Blackstone and they cook breakfast tacos for just anyone that walks by, and I'm like, that is so cool. So I'm very impressed by people that like camp or like meal plan for festivals, but that ain't me, babe. It's just so not me.
I've been in both camps. So I've planned meals, and usually that's the easiest way when you have a nice big group. But when it's like just like me and my boyfriend at the time went, it was easier we made like breakfast every morning. We'd make breakfast, but then we'd go buy food the rest of the day, just because it was easier to bring and to plan that way. But when you have a big group, you can be like, okay, you guys bring dinner for this night, you guys bring breakfast and it's easier to kind of like delegate, as long as you got people who are willing to take the lead on that. If you got people who are like, whatever, then you're kind of stuck. But I've been in both camps, and it's nice at Bonnaroo because there's so many food options. It's ridiculous. But smaller festivals, it's not quite as easy. So I totally get where you're coming from, Chloe. I get that, and that's totally cool too. I've felt that way many times. We're like, let's go get a burrito. I don't want to cook anything.
I have several foodies in my group. I'm very fortunate. I could be somewhat of a kitchen disaster, but between my husband and a couple of our friends, they're very serious about the menu planning, and it really helps if wherever the event is, that at least one of us is driving distance. So like if we do the Gorge, we have friends who live in Portland, so it's really easy to get a really good menu going because they just get everything.
Yes.
We're here in Denver, so if we just do like Renewal Fest, a couple of years ago, Mesh, my husband, bought a camping wok burner. So he brought his wok. Yes, he's very serious. He's
I've
very
seen that
serious
a
about
lot.
food.
But maybe
And he made us breakfast fried rice, which I think
Yum.
having
mouth's
either
watering.
a like full rounded breakfast at a festival is essential, or having something post show or late night, just so you're feeling a little bit more human.
At least one meal.
Yeah,
Is a good
that one
idea.
meal diet, right? You're on
Cut
tour
off.
diet.
One meal you got to commit to. Exactly. That way you don't die.
I have a post-show meal that I need to share with everyone because I promise it will be life-changing.
Okay.
Please do.
Very
I'm ready.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
cannot take credit for it. I have to give credit to my friends Nat and Lee, but we had it at the Gorge last time, and we will never, ever now go without it as a post-show snack. I will preface, it is not healthy at all, but if you only do it, after like
You're on
occasional
vacation.
shows. So it is a hot dog with pimento cheese.
Oh, that sounds so good.
And I'm
That
That's
sounds
really good.
I'm gonna come find your glamping site at Mondegreen and like
Yeah.
get after every night. I'm just gonna come find you and I'm gonna eat a hot dog with pimento cheese.
Mesh came home from work today. He had stopped at the grocery store and he brought home hot dogs and pimento cheese. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm gonna bring that up during the podcast later on. It's incredible that you brought that home. And that's what he had for lunch today.
That's fantastic. That sounds so good.
But yeah, try it. And I want everyone to let me know how it went.
You can call it tropical hot dog night, like the Captain Beefheart song, and everybody can you can blast that crazy song, which is a crazy song. You've got to listen to it. And everybody can just go nuts on that hot dogs and pimento cheese because that sounds amazing. My mouth is literally watering.
Everyone
Oh
should
my
get
God.
their own tub and you could just dip your hot dog in.
That's so much better. Like, can you imagine? Like, oh, I'm just gonna put some on the bun. No, like you're elbow deep in that pimento cheese,
Yeah.
or you're not. Like, please.
Chloe, if you ever want to vend that at Bonnaroo, go for it.
I'll make sure to give you credit though. I'll be like, listen, this is where I heard from it.
You would freaking clean up if you were right outside like main stage. Oh my gosh. Clean up. Pimento cheese hot dogs. What?
So
People are older now. They kind of know what's good. They don't want no like crappy grilled cheese like with
With your
American
garlic
cheese.
salt, take your garlic
Pimento.
salt.
Exactly.
So Chloe, that might be something that you can post on your Instagram. So Chloe has an Instagram page called Should I Eat at Festivals? And she like talks about all of the food that she eats at festivals. So
Just some free content. I love it. No, I'm definitely gonna our group is very into cheese this year. So I'm gonna float this to the group and
Just
see
this
if
year?
like right. We're being very loud about it this year. But I'll float that to them because I think that would be fun.
yeah.
Because I love this whole idea of like I totally described what you're saying, like your good base breakfast meal. Like I'm pretty thoughtful about what I eat in the morning because I know like it didn't used to be that way like 12 years ago when I started going. I'd just be like eat a burrito covered in like liquid cheese and like be fine for the day. But like I can't do that now. So it's so much more thoughtful, like get a good base in the morning. Everything between then and when you come back to camp is like for funsies. But then when you come back to camp, it's like no holds barred. Like, what are you eating? Like, how did you get here? But for us, it's usually like, this is so lame, just like a peanut butter and jelly and like any kind of crunchy item with like red 40 on it, like a Cheeto, a Dorito, like crunchy, savory. And I'm like covered in like jelly, and I'm like, I've never been happier.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got me with pimento cheese. Like, I'm in on that. That
I
sounds
want to
actually
add
really
bacon to that. That would be good, like a bacon on that hot dog with pimento
good.
cheese.
You get
That would be like heavenly. You might like go into like a trance of some sort and
We'd transcend for sure.
going out. It'd be a zen moment. Oh,
well, like, and you know, you don't have to do like real bacon. You get like the, well, I mean, get the real
Oh, yeah.
bacon bits,
Get the
like,
bacon?
because it's
or you
easy
get
to,
turkey bacon?
yeah, and it's really easy to travel with, and like, you know, you don't have to worry about cooking bacon in the middle of the night. You could just have your like bacon bits on top of your pimento cheese and hot dog.
Oh yes. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
funny that you say cooking bacon at camp, because like one of my most random Bonnaroo memories is like walking back to camp at like 3:30 a.m. and like some wook is like cooking bacon at his campsite. I'm like, how did you get here? Like, how did this happen in your life? Because I want to study you. Like, how do I become like that? Like, that's amazing.
Made bacon. We made bacon before at camp. I think
Incredible.
brings out all the looks. Let me tell you, they come out of all the woodwork. They're like, bacon. You got bacon?
At my very first camping festival, I made bacon. I bought this car oven that you plug into your electronic system in your car. Like, no joke. It takes so much energy out of your car. It destroyed the electrical system in my car. I was never able to use the plug again after, like, for my phone or anything after that.
Were you able to drive out okay?
Yeah,
All in
no,
the
the
name of
car
bacon.
worked fine. Like, I was able to
Okay.
turn it on and everything, but I was never able to use like the cigarette lighter ever again. But it made the bacon, and the bacon was delicious. So
All
we
in the
had
name of
bacon.
bacon. That's awesome. I love it.
It was
That is a great
a
story.
cigarette car lighter bacon maker, and
I'm
it
surprised
worked
it
one
didn't
time.
drain your battery. Like if it takes that much power, you think it would have just drained your battery and you were just been fucked.
I mean, we had the car running when it was on, so like it wasn't just
Oh,
running off the battery, but it was like probably really dangerous and probably was not a good idea.
Risking it all for bacon.
all for bacon.
I was young, dumb, and drunk at my very first camping festival, so I went with it.
All for bacon. All for bacon.
This won't top the pimento cheese, but it was the same gorgier as the pimento cheese hot dog. Nat and Lee had all the fixins for a Bloody Mary bar, which was also a bomb move, and I highly encourage that if it's not been done yet.
I love that.
That's a freaking great idea. I've seen people do that. I don't do bloodies, but I should because I'm a food junkie. But I've seen people slinging at actually Big Cypress. They were slinging bloodies all over the place. So my friend came back. He had one with like shrimp and like part of a cheeseburger. I was like, "What are you doing? Where did you get this from?" Oh, down there, some dude selling them. Like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Bloody bar.
Okay, that'll segue into a tip.
Yes.
For the ladies.
Okay.
I really highly encourage this has happened to me before. If you are on your period at a festival, it really sucks, right? I've been using a menstrual cup for like the past 4 or 5 years, and you're all nodding your head, you know the magic of a menstrual cup then, but like yeah, menstrual cup all the way. Like if you're, well, every month, but I think they're really helpful at a music festival.
Totally agree.
Although I'd be scared I'd drop it in the porta potty when I was like dumping it. Like, shit, well that's gone.
Always bring 2, I guess.
Exactly. Bring it back up. Good call.
Yeah. So do you have any brands that you recommend?
So since I started using the cup, I've only ever used June, but I find it like there's a bit of a learning curve, but once you get it, I like it. I will never, ever, ever use anything but a cup now. But there's so many brands. But yeah, I've been a strict June user.
MeLuna, and they have different sizes. The MeLuna ones are customizable based on thickness, the type of whatever they use in it. I think it's not silicone, it's something else, and the size of them. I
Oh, I
love
might
them.
be changing my cup now. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Like it only does have so many hours on it. Like how do you like clean, like what is your like cleaning plan for that? I'm very curious. Like I'm
Yeah.
actually really, this wasn't a conversation I was expecting. I'm like so interested.
Yeah, so what I did, well, I don't know if any of you have been to the Gorge before, but their porta pots are the cleanest in all the land. They service them many times a day, and I have very shy bowels, and I have no problem hanging out in these honey buckets. So being able to clean my cup was also no big deal. I would just make sure I went inside with either a bottle of water or like a bowl filled with water and just kind of doused it out, once it's been emptied, and just shove it back in and you're ready to rage again.
You're good to
But
go. Yeah,
seriously,
twice a day is all you got to do. So it's fantastic
the
for
cup
that.
has been life-changing. Life-changing.
They do require like getting used to them. Like, so I don't think I would have gone to Bonnaroo and been like, it's my first time with the cup, I'm gonna figure it out.
True,
Like I would
very
definitely
true.
say a month or two before. It's not hard. It's just like figuring out what works for you. And yeah, same. Like I would just take a water bottle in with me and just rinse it out. And then I did have like a little pack of like sanitizing hand wipes, just like really, it's not like messy. It's not like a crime scene usually. Like it's really not as bad as people, I mean, it can be. It's really not as bad as people think it is. Like you're fine if you just have a little bit of foresight and you're ready to go. It is so much easier. Like I'm not constantly thinking about like, oh my God, do I need to go change my tampon? Like I don't think I've ever had like leaks. Like it's just so not hands-free, but like set it and forget it. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome.
And you can't even feel it. I like tampons, I
Yeah.
can always feel,
Pick up, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's such a great recommendation. I would have never even thought about that. Like not even a little bit. That's a great recommendation. So we'll go ahead and start wrapping up. I do want to leave some time to hear about everybody's favorite festival or Bonnaroo experience. Like what is like the one moment that like you had at a music festival that just will always stay with you? And it could be concert, could be festival, but I want to hear about that, and then we'll go to close it out.
Chloe, go first.
Okay. I probably have like two moments that have been pretty impactful for me and they've both been at Bonnaroo. My first year was 2013, which was the year with Paul McCartney, and I'm sure everyone that wasn't there is like so tired of hearing about it. But his set really was, it was as magical and more, as everyone said. Like he's just someone I don't think I would have seen without him being at Bonnaroo. Like I feel so lucky and fortunate to have seen him. But when he did Hey Jude, and quite literally that entire crowd sang it, like I was like, this is it. Like this is the juice. You know what I mean? Like that's that kind of like feeling of being part of a collective and just really positive and kind was like sold me on going to Bonnaroo for like forever, as much as I can go. And then my other probably most memorable moment is last year when I went with the group for the first time. Kind of like a smaller portion of our group showed up on Tuesday, and it was like a lot of people that had been way more involved with the planning, and we just got to be like a lot closer. So it was just kind of like this smaller group, and we just got to have like Tuesday night fun time. Like the campgrounds were still pretty empty. Like a lot of people hadn't gotten there yet. And we just had like some people set up and DJ, and we just got to like drink and dance and like be together with these people that like I'd never really met in person. And it was like we had worked so hard to like bring this to life, and there we were like just together like in the sun, and like the weather was perfect, and we had hot food and cold drinks, and I know I just got to like kiss all my favorite people on the face, and it was like, this is it. Like, this is the one time a year I get to see these people, and it literally couldn't be more perfect. So, oh, it was so good. I'm getting like chills thinking about it. It was like just the best night.
I love that feeling.
Yeah, you're giving me chills thinking about it.
Awesome.
So what about you, Rachel?
I mean, you can't like, how do you whittle it down to one or two memories or moments? It's almost impossible. I will say, and I'm gonna plug my book. My favorite show moment is actually the inciting incident in Second Set Chances. So when it comes out on April 8th, 2025, and you all read it, you'll see my favorite show moment of all time. But one I can tell, and this is more funny than like chill inducing, but it cracks me up.
We love it.
The last Bonnaroo I was at, when I was telling you, like, in 2006, went back because of Radiohead, and I was with a smaller group of friends, but I was with my best friend and a couple other friends, and we went early because Beck performed before Radiohead, so we're up relatively close. Maybe we're about 50 rows back, and we ate a lot of mushrooms for the Radiohead show, and I forget exactly which song, but one of the more quieter ones. And like Radiohead says to this day, it's one of their favorite performances ever. I don't know if any of you have gone back and listened to it. It's, to me, in like all the shows I've seen, it's probably still in my top 5 shows ever. But it's so quiet, and Megan just screams, "Why is everyone so quiet right now?" So I just like slowly inched my way from her, like, I'm not with this woman right now. And it just cracks me up, you know. She's just tripping face and didn't know what to do with all of those emotions.
Got a lot of big feelings.
Yeah.
I've been there. I know the feeling. I've been there.
Yeah. What
That's
about
the
you
best.
two? Do we get to hear some of your favorite memories?
Yeah. So I think my favorite was Bonnaroo actually 2 years ago. It was like the smallest Bonnaroo ever, and like it was just amazing to be at like the festival with like nobody there. But Stevie Nicks closed it out, and my mom was a huge Stevie Nicks fan, and my mom passed away about 13 years ago. And I just had this moment where I just like I felt my mom there. And then somebody, it's kind of tradition at Bonnaroo, like somebody always does like the I don't, what do they call those? Like candle bags, like where they like float them up,
Like
the
the
floating
lanterns?
the lanterns. Yeah, candle bags. I don't, that's not the name of them.
I was with you.
The lanterns.
Yeah.
But the people who were doing them like were just in front of me, and like I like they started doing them right during landslide, and I walked up to them and I just was in tears, and I was like, thank you so much. Like my mom's here with me, and like this is so important to me, and like I connected with my mom that night, and it was just absolutely beautiful, and I will always cherish that moment. And then I ran off, and because I was crying so much, I ran off to Where in the Woods and like danced my ass off. So
Big extremes there.
yeah, I was like, peace out, bye friends, I'm gonna go dance now.
I just shaved my legs, and I think you ruined my fresh shave job with that story.
Oh.
Aw.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
really
just it was so special, and you know, it was just a moment like I connected with my mom, and I'm not really that spiritual of a person or anything, but I definitely felt her there, and it was just really important to me. So but then I went to go dance at Where in the Woods for the rest of the night and party. So, you know, that's how it goes at Bonnaroo. What about you, Niki?
Mine's not quite as poignant, but I remember in '05 in Bonnaroo, which was probably the best lineup ever. It was ridiculous. They just don't have lineups like that anymore, which is why I don't really do Bonnaroo as much anymore, unfortunately. But I was standing in the middle of all the stages, and I couldn't decide what freaking band to go see. And I was so upset because it was like, I think Trey and Keller and maybe Jack Johnson they're all playing at the same time. And I just broke down. I was like, I can't, it's all good. I was underneath the big heads, and I just did not know where to go. I was so upset because I couldn't handle it. And my boyfriend left me because he went to see Xavier Rudd. And I'm like, I don't know. Somebody needs to tell me where to go because I just don't, I can't do it. That happened once at Rothbury too, when Trey was playing and John Mayer was playing and somebody else was playing at the same time. And I was in at the Electric Forest at the time. It was all lit up, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Somebody tell me what to go say. It was just too much. And I was a happy cry, but also a frustrating cry because there's just so much good music at once. You just don't know what to do. It was like ADHD overload, overstimulation, and I just fell to my knees and just cried and listened to it all at one plot. So
Nobody came to you and helped you make a decision?
people were laughing. They're
Oh.
like, "You're okay." I'm like, "I don't know where to go." And they're like, "Okay."
Did you ultimately end up going a
I
certain?
probably went over to see Trey. I think that Trey always wins out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he always wins out. There's no losing with Trey. So I think I just went over to Trey. But it was one of those things where it was just, this is a beautiful thing to be upset about. I'm okay with it. Not a bad problem to have.
We need to get Chloe to a fish fest or fish show or a goose show at some point.
Yeah.
I think
You ever
that'd be
been to
really
any?
fun.
Yeah.
No, I don't do a ton of jam stuff, but like anytime I'm at Bonnaroo and I can swing by one, I always have a great time. Like the crowd's always awesome, and yeah, I wouldn't be
Who-
opposed to it. I'd love to do it.
Who are you looking forward to seeing the most this year?
Oh man, it's stacked with girlies I'm excited to see, but Chapel Roan is going to be there, and she was on my list for last year and I was like so bummed, and now she's on this year. And she's on Sunday, which hurts my feelings because I'm not an entire being on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like I'm depleted. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like make sure I have enough energy to see her, but oh my god, I'm going to lose my mind. She's going to be so good.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to check her out. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, me
Oh, she's
neither.
super fun, super poppy. Like she's a queer pop artist, and like does not shy away from that. But her stuff, check out Pink Pony Club. That's like one of her bigger songs.
Great
Very
name.
nice.
Yeah, it's super fun. And another one of hers that's pretty big is Hot to Go. They're both fun, quick little bops that are getting like a ton of attention, and yeah, they look really, really fun.
I will check it out. What about you, Rachel? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to fish, 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 and more fish. Yeah, I'm like you, Nikki. I've not. 2006 was the last time I was at Bonnaroo. I was
Okay.
saying before you signed on, seeing that Radiohead show is a really great way to like close out my.
That is a
Maybe
good
I'll be
call.
back
It was,
to Bonnaroo, but for now, that was like a
yeah,
great.
the festivals are so much fun, but I am 50 and my body can't handle sleeping on the ground. It
No,
rejects it. So if I can stay in a hotel and go to a festival, I will do it all day long. And
Are you
I'm
doing
not going to Mondegreen this year because I am going to the Sphere next week.
my son
Cool.
was set in yesterday, and I'm trying my
It's
hardest to convince my husband we should let's just go and see what happens.
It's you probably won't have a bad time. I can
No.
probably guarantee. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for that. But I that's why I
Yeah.
forgo Mondegreen because that was.
Are
that
you
was
doing all
gonna-
four?
Yeah, I did a travel package
Amazing.
the first time ever. It's for my 50th. I had
Yeah.
to do something before I turned 51, which is in June. So that was what I decided to do instead of going to the Caribbean. I think I chose wisely.
Yes, you did.
Happy birthday.
For sure.
Yeah, for me, I'm not doing Bonnaroo this year for the first time in a few years. I am doing Mondegreen because that was just the choice for me this year. Bonnaroo just wasn't like when the lineup. I waited for the lineup, and it was like either going to be my first fish festival or it was going to be Bonnaroo, and the lineup just wasn't there for me. And last year the lineup was so for me, and I still went and I had a great time, but it wasn't what I really wanted. So, Mondegreen it is, and I'm gonna go hang out with the Wooks and experience that for the first time. I'm pretty new to the fish scene generally. I've only been to 7 shows, so it's going to be an experience, I think.
Where are you camping?
We're GA tent camping. We couldn't. We
Okay.
tried to get the Glen Close, which is like the premium, back
Shit show.
camping.
Yeah.
Could not get that, which is fine. We've done that for Firefly, like that same camping spot for Firefly. So like kind of like my group was like, oh, we have to get that because it's like so much closer. It's so much better. GA camping at those grounds is across the highway. So you have to like walk around up and over the highway to the festival. So it's like you have to, like, it's a 20-minute walk to the festival every day. And that's just wasn't ideal, but I will do it. And then my boyfriend he's doing, he got an RV. So I imagine that I'm going to just like hang out at his RV a lot. The RV camping is up close to the festival. So I imagine that
RV without you? What the hell?
we planned before we were dating. So like, yeah. So like, and he's with his group of friends and stuff, which is fine. And I'll be with my friends and it'll be fine. But, I just imagine that I'll be like hanging out over there, you know, like
you'll have a bed to sleep in.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm very excited to have a new experience and I guess see 4 more fish shows because that I'm not going to see them again. That's it.
We'll get into the double digits.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then I'll have and then I think we're gonna go to Bisco too. We're gonna go to the Disco Biscuits Festival, which is 4th of July weekend. So, and we'll just camp for that. So, which I can't imagine is nearly as big as the Fish Festival or anything like that. So,
still a festival.
It's still a festival.
Let's look for each other with some pimento cheese hot dogs.
Yes, we will
the power of the cheese to find one another.
Yes. And we'll feel the power of the cheese at Bonnaroo too, because that's Chloe's camp. Isn't that the theme this year for your campsite is cheese?
It is.
So it totally works out. You'll have to tell us how that goes. We'll have to have a check-in.
Oh my God.
They've got to be in. Oh, that's shit I eat at festivals.
Okay. Yeah.
With periods in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be in your camp, man. I'm a cheese is my food. That's my people ask what my favorite food is, and I just say cheese. I mean, I don't care what kind it is.
Yeah, I've never met a cheese I don't like. Like, keep them coming.
That's true. Same. All right. Well, this was so much fun, y'all. I'm so happy we got to do this, and we got some great tips and tricks and conversation, and we hope that everybody has such an amazing time at their festivals, and we'll definitely connect at Mondegreen, Rachael, and Chloe, I will miss you at Bonnaroo. Very sad.
I'll hold it down for you.
Yes. Give everybody my love and hugs, and we're very very sad I can't go this year, but it's gonna be Mondegreen's gonna be fun. So this was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a great time, and yeah.
What a great way to kick off the weekend. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Right on.
Hey you, did you think you'd hear a conversation about periods today? Well, guess what? We're women, and we have periods. Do your part this summer to help make festival season and all shows an inclusive space. Leave your misogyny, racism, and general bad attitudes at home. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Thanks, y'all. Talk to you soon.